Hello, listening people.
Hello.
You're listening to Spit and Polish Presents Unappreciated Masterpieces. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Slawinski.
And I'm Bartek,
The other host.
I think.
Oh, good. And we are both Spit and Polish, likingly because we are always spitting, and we both happen to be Polish. Is that not correct, Bartek?
We are both.
We are both. Yeah, that. You're just gonna end sentences?
We are both spit and we both do the Polish.
We both do the Polish. And on our show, Unappreciated Masterpieces, we talk about movies.
And to do that, we got to clear our throats.
You may do that. In our show, Unappreciated Masterpieces, which you're listening to, we talk about movies in an audio commentary fashion. We talk about the unappreciated masterpieces. What are those, Bartek, for the people who don't understand the concept of what an unappreciated masterpiece could be? Because those can be two conflicting statements in themselves. Unappreciated, yet a masterpiece?
That's crazy. How do you put an adjective and a noun together?
Exactly.
That's stupid shit.
English is a stupid language.
Yeah, because stupid shit's an
I got it.
adjective and a noun.
I got it. English is stupid language. We should do the rest of the show in Polish.
The reason why I bring up stupid shit is because unappreciated masterpieces is the opposite. It's smart.
We.
Is shit and we opposites?
Well, they come out of opposite ends.
Like, I know they're number
one comes
one
out
and
of the
two.
front and one comes out of the back.
Yeah, well, front and back are opposites, but...
There you
I
go.
don't know.
Piss and poo are different things. Unless you would go food and poo, but one turns into the other. And you can turn the other one into another if you want.
Not even South Park went that far, right? Unappreciated masterpieces are things that a lot of people might not like, but on this show, they're the things that we like.
Okay.
What are they is the question, though, that you asked, not do we like... Which the answer is yes, by the way. Unappreciated masterpieces are those films that people have either forgotten, never loved, maybe once loved but no longer, which, to be honest, is pretty much forgotten anyway, so
Yeah.
I'm kind of repeating myself. I'm Bartek, by the way, and I clear my throat.
I'm Ryan, and I do not clear my throat. My throat
And
is
you're a
forever
host,
clear.
right?
Well, am I? I could be one of.
And we're both Spit and Polish presents Unappreciated Masterpieces. The title, Unappreciated Masterpieces, refers to films that have been forgotten, unloved. And Ryan likes to describe it as films that seemingly don't deserve an audio commentary. Now, if you don't like that, you can replace seemingly with allegedly. We don't care.
I do. I chose seemingly specifically for a purpose, which is my own purpose. Won't tell you. Death of the author, mate. I like how I conflicted my own statement there. Like, being like, it matters to me, but death of the author, so it doesn't matter in the end. Bartek,
You're not going to the funeral of the author.
what is the unappreciated masterpiece we would be covering in today's episode? Because I can't read the title of the episode before I am in the episode.
Yeah.
You know, it's like our characters can't, they don't know the name of the book that they're in unless they title drop it. It's not like I'm just going to be at the start of this, be like, oh yeah. I guess some of us could say we are Thunderpants.
Yeah, we can't look up and see the title, but we can comment on our listening person James's nice shirt.
Or Jessica's, who's wearing James's nice shirt.
I'm just
weird.
hoping someone named James or Jessica listens to this episode. So
I hope
the
that
joke
James
doesn't fall.
and Jessica are both listening, and Jessica's like, where did James' shirt come from on me?
I just hope the president of Earth makes everyone change their names to James and Jessica so the joke works.
Oh, that sounds
better.
like a Kim Jong-un move.
I mean, if it helps, it helps.
It helps. So, what is it, Bartek? What's the movie we're watching?
The movie or the unappreciated masterpiece that we are doing on this episode, I almost said today, but you can listen to this any day.
Or
is-
night.
Shit, you're right.
Or in between. Time is a construct. I got it.
I like the Gregorian calendar.
Oh, classic.
It's what I do. The movie that the unappreciated masterpiece that we are covering on this episode is Kurczak Mały. Kurczak Mały.
I don't know what that means.
It's the movie. What do you mean means? You asked me what the title is. I gave you the title.
You're speaking gibberish, right?
Kurczak Mały.
Say the name of the movie, Bartek.
Kurczak Mały.
Okay, are we watching Moana? Is that what you're telling me?
Kind of sounded African when I said it that slowly.
So, are we doing an African movie? We already did Mr. Bones. on our show, The Mystery Box, which you can listen to.
People are dying in the streets. Kurchak Maui.
Oh,
Doesn't
okay.
really
You want
work.
the South Park guys to come after us? They'll come after us. They're gonna hear this podcast and be like, did they just sample a little bit of
Well,
our
I've got-
music? I'll get them.
Well, they'll be surprised when they run into Scientology, who are my friends.
Oh boy. So are we doing Scientology, the movie? I don't know.
No, but can we sometime?
That is a movie.
So
Isn't it?
why aren't you reacting to Kurchak Maui?
I am. I'm saying I don't know what you're saying. It's gibberish.
That's a
right?
title.
I don't know what you're saying.
Kurchak Maui.
Say it in English, not gibberish.
Wait, you don't speak Polish?
No, I happen to be Polish, but I don't speak it. I speak, I speak English. Some might say not very well, but I do speak it.
I don't really understand that concept, but alright, I'll go with it.
What are you saying?
The Polish title Kurczak Mały translates to, because I guess you have to translate from the not original language.
Yep, that's right.
To Chicken Little.
Chicken Little? The great film Chicken Little?
Which you will notice is noun adjective, not adjective noun.
The Chicken Little film from the 1940s that I got informed about just before we started the episode,
No,
apparently
no.
in
Not
which
the-
there's a Hitler representative
Yeah, not
and they all die at the end for some reason.
Not the
and it's-
propaganda one.
Is it propaganda or
Yeah.
is it just life lessons?
Propaganda.
Oh, so we're not doing the propaganda one.
No, we're doing
So we're not-
the Disney one.
Oh, so you said we weren't doing propaganda one.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Capitalism. So, Bartek,
Cannibalism?
we don't do this show alone all of the time. Sometimes we have guests.
It's gonna
And
be really awkward if it's Kim Jong-un.
this time we aren't joined by a guest, but a local deity that happened to stop by.
Are you talking about the god of blaspheme?
Oh, I'm talking about the god of Chicken Little as well. It's
god
a
of
multiple god.
The god of Kurczak Mały?
I don't speak the language, but I get...
It's a literal translation.
I don't speak the language. It could mean anything. We are joined by local deity and longtime friend of the show, first ever guest of the show, Ryan Slawinski. No,
I was literally going to say that, yeah.
Will Brooks.
Hello, listening people. I'm here in some capacity.
Hello, Vlad.
So, Will, it's great to have you on for Chicken Little. Bartek, it was great to have you on for Chicken Little. Guys, you at home, listening people, great to have you on. End of the episode.
You were good too, Ryan.
I could have got the Chicken Little translation better, though.
Kurczak Mały.
It sounds like a tiki bar.
Kurczak Mały.
It sounds like a tiki bar at some kind of local
I
inn.
guess, yeah.
You want to go to the, what was it, Chukok Mawe?
Kurczak Mały.
I got it right. So guys, get your copy ready at home because you're going to have a copy of the movie Chicken Little, you know, the one from 2005.
Or Kurczak Mały.
And I'm going to do a countdown from 3. I'm going to go down to 1 and then say play. And you're going to press play as well. And you're going to be synced up with us as we talk about the 2005 classic animated film. Our first ever animated film on Unappreciated Masterpieces.
Entirely animated, yeah.
Entirely animated. So
We've gone half-assed before, like
Yeah.
Monkey Bone and Rocky and Bullwinkle.
I was going to say, Rocky and Bullwinkle, you know, you got to bring that up there because that had Will in it. So,
I mean, yeah.
There's
He
synergy there.
he played Bullwinkle. So, get
And
your...
I was Rocky.
No,
But I sound like Michael Jackson.
you were the Fearless Leader. And I was the fax machine.
I was the method actor.
So get ready because we're going to start this in 3, 2, 1, play. So we have a cinematic film here that's brought to you by Disney. Disney took the bold move of completely changing their opening sequence here. I've never seen it look like this before because it's in style of the art style of the movie.
Like the background?
No, like the castle and that style. Like...
Oh, yeah, I remember that now, yeah.
Yeah. The movie starts automatically with a narration from Gary Marshall. You know Gary Marshall, the creator of Happy Days. And also who's in the Mystery Box episode Keeping Up with the Steins.
Keeping up the Steins on their pedestal.
He's very prominent.
They were Jews, so you have to keep them away from prejudice in America. So, Will, we are, we're currently 47 seconds into the movie, 49 seconds into the 80-minute movie, possibly one of the shorter movies we've ever done on this show. I'm not saying it is
Wait,
the shortest.
So we're almost 1/80th of the way through and we haven't even seen the main... Well, now we
There
have.
he is.
There we
You
are.
just got wrecked. So
He's right there, Bartek.
Well,
Oh, he's not there.
That's a carrot, Will. Well, no, he wasn't that shot.
He's in every shot. Wouldn't that be a twist? Like, you know how in Disney movies they have a secret Mickey Mouse in each one of them?
Mm-hmm.
That we know the Mickey Mouse secret one in this one. it's quite obvious it's a watch that a certain character uses
Well,
later.
I think I read somewhere that it was the crop circle thing.
Oh,
It was
really?
the secret one.
Oh, okay. I thought that was
Because the one that you're describing
is.
is the one that's like a full screen shot of Mickey Mouse.
But it's an alien, so
Very
it's secret.
secret, yeah.
So it's a secret. So, Will, I'm going to ask you the most important question that you're going to be asked in the first introductionary moment of the episode.
And that is why the animal's wearing clothes.
No, that is, why are humans existing in this world whilst there are animals that also exist as people?
To be fair, Will's answering.
Harrison Ford can do what he wants.
He's the only one. He's the only human, Ryan.
I can imagine Harrison Ford sitting down reading the script to Raiders of the Lost Ark, and he just turned to George Lucas and Steven Spielberg and just went, "Hey," and they're like, "What's wrong, Harrison? Don't you like the script?" "No, I love the script. It's a great script. Nazi's face melts off. But I got one question for you." Yes? Is this going to be shown in Chicken Little at any point?"
And then George Lucas says, "Are you kidding me? Lucasfilm and Disney together? Never gonna happen."
Never going to happen. You know what I love about Lucas selling to Disney?
What?
Have you heard that he's publicly stated that he stole this? He sold the Star Wars movies out of spite for the
I think you've told me that.
fans because they all got on his case about the prequels, and he's like, "Well, I guess you guys don't like any form of artistry. I'll sell it to the biggest hacks in Hollywood." And then as each new movie goes by, he's just proven right more and more because more people are turning on these new Star Wars movies because the lack of artistry in them and the more corporate machine-like method. And it's just like, oh, George, you cynical bastard.
So, Ryan, if you were given the task of finishing this movie, everything in the film was finished except putting in the Raiders of the Lost Ark footage, would you put in Crash Bandicoot running away from a boulder? Because he's an
Oh,
animal.
well, I was going to completely disagree with you. I was going to say, I thought we were going to be on the same track, but then you went on the Crash Bandicoot track, so I guess we're splitting off here. But
What are you going to do, UHF?
no, I thought you were going to ask if instead of the boulder scene, I was going to include the Nazi face melting scene. And instead of whatever the water silo ball or whatever falling in, it cracks in half and it shoots out water at the crowd so they think that they're getting Nazi face melting on them. And they're like, no! I would include that in my kids' movie.
Good thing I didn't ask, yeah. Or else I'd feel silly.
You were silly. As Crazy Little Chicken. I like how that's the name. I love that's the name of the movie that they make in the movie.
I'm glad that Chicken Little agreed to be on the cover.
Do
Or
we
the
know
poster,
what
billboard.
the Polish word for crazy is, so we can add that to the title?
Yeah, Bartek.
Well, there are a few variations. I got to think of the one that's specifically.
Give me the most nutso one.
Not so.
Nutso. Give me nutso.
The one that's on my mind's a noun, not an adjective.
Oh no, then that ruins everything.
Yeah, because this is adjective.
So
noun.
while Bartek's trying to translate the Polish language that he speaks, Will, tell me your history with this movie, if you have one at all.
Oh well,
Great
there's-
gag, by the way.
There's quite a history here. There's some gags going on in the background here. Just
Bull-
look
Bull
into
in the
the
China shop?
background.
Yes,
I saw this in a drive-in when I was younger,
when it came out.
and in an unrelated note, my mum, by coincidence, brought it up a couple weeks ago as an example of something shit that we saw in the drive-in. But you know, there's no accounting for taste.
Did you slap your mum in the face and say, "What were you saying, bitch"?
I killed her right then and there, and
I knew
myself.
it. And himself, we're joined by a ghost. This is one of the many times we're joined by ghosts on this show.
Well, he's a
including-
baby.
Well, gods can die if you play Gods of War.
God's not dead though.
Oh, we're getting real philosophical.
You know,
because
I've
am-
never seen it, but you know, God's not dead, guys.
Oh, you meant the film series. I thought you were saying the literal quotes of just like, God's not dead because I am God. There you go. So, Will, you saw this in the drive-in theater. Now, was this your first ever drive-in theater experience, or had you been seeing lots of movies at the drive-in theater? Because I've only seen one movie in the drive-in theater, and that was also an animated movie called a fish tale. Is that what it's called?
A shark tale?
A shark's tale. A shark's tale. I'm sorry because I forget that a
sharks are
shark
fish.
is at all important in the movie because the
There's
movie's
a whole
about
mafia of
yeah, but the
sharks.
movie's about a fish.
Yeah, Will Smith.
Sharks are fish.
Will
They're a
Fish
type of
Smith.
fish.
Will Smith.
Will Smith. It's about him. The sharks barely factor into it at all in
Well,
comparison
Jack
to
Black's
him.
there.
Yeah, but it's about
He's
the
literally
fish.
called Oscar the Shark
We're doing
Slayer.
Chicken Little, by the way.
There was the title.
So you had seen things in the drive-in?
Svario van
The
Malachuk.
drive-in near Dandenong, I go somewhat frequently.
But
not
when you were a
really.
child?
Yeah.
What was the first thing you saw at the drive-in? What's your earliest memory
Actually-
of being in a car going Goo Goo Gaga
I actually
movie?
can't
And
remember what the first thing I saw on the drive.
It could be
drive-in
Chicken Little.
is. Maybe. Let's just say it is.
So I had never seen this movie before. I had seen the ads growing up, and I like aliens, and I was like, oh, I'd like to see this. I like aliens. Anything sci-fi related,
The
like
movie Aliens or in general?
all of it, buddy. The movie's good too, and then Alien 3 comes along and fucks it up. I don't care. If you're listening to this and saying to yourself, Alien 3 is actually an unappreciated masterpiece in itself, fuck you.
But Shark Tale is.
I don't care if there's a director's cut or assembly cut, because David Fincher didn't want to come back and do a director's cut because he fucking hates it. I hate it too. You know, in Alien 3, spoiler for Alien 3, by the way, at the beginning of Alien 3, the characters that she saved at the end of the last movie just all die horribly, and they do
Ryan rant time. Blah,
they do
blah,
an
blah. Metal Gear
autopsy.
Solid 2 sucks,
They do an
blah, blah, blah.
autopsy on a little girl, and it's just like, oh great, that little girl character that we liked in the second movie. Now we see her having an autopsy. This is what I want. Who wanted that in an Alien movie? I'll tell you. Bunch of Hollywood hacks that were like, children aren't marketable. You know what are? Dogs, because that movie has a dog in it.
So does this film.
This movie has a couple of dogs in it, and I did not see it in the theater.
One of them is Harry Shearer.
One of them is Harry Shearer, who is a prominent Simpsons voice actor, and of course, he's best well known for Godzilla.
That's true.
The Matthew Broderick Godzilla, of course.
I was going to mention, I think you mean, and then I'm like, oh wait, no, that's exactly the movie.
I thought you were going to correct me and say you mean Jonathan Taylor Thomas, and I was like, yeah, you got me there. We have to keep up the continuity. So, Bartek, your history with this movie.
I did not see it at a drive-in. I saw it at a regular cinema.
By yourself?
No, I'm pretty sure I saw it with my mum and brother.
Oh yeah, what did they think? Did your mum say a couple of weeks ago that's an example of something that was shit and you had to kill her on the spot?
No.
And myself, don't forget that.
And myself, not yourself.
No, honestly, I don't remember what they thought of it at all.
Well, what did you think of it?
I remember also having seen a lot of the promotional material for the film, mainly posters, not so much trailers. And there were always these really hard to interpret kind of things. Like, there was a lot of them that were references to movies, like Chicken Little sitting on the chairs from like the Men in Black posters and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
There were like a bunch of these weird...
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah.
And they're eggs.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
everything's an egg in this movie. You get it? They're chickens.
So I remember seeing all of that and being like, I have no idea what this movie's about. I guess it's about a little cool little chicken or something. So then when I saw the movie, I'm like, oh, this is actually kind of a normal chicken.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes?
Had you seen Men in Black at that point?
Yes.
Okay. So, did you think that this was going to be like Men in Black, but with animals? Because I
don't think I
kind of did when I grew up. I thought, oh, is this going to be...
Well, no, because I think I saw so many other different posters and materials. Like, when I was looking up trailers after I watched this film, one of them was like a trailer. It was a scene that's set between the prologue and the scene after that. It was like him being interviewed outside his house. I'm like,
That's not in the movie.
yeah, it's not in the movie. It was just a like teaser trailer or something.
Unless this is a different cut of the movie. We only have the 80-minute cut. We don't have the director's cut
No,
by
it-
David Fincher.
No,
Is there
it-
an assembly cut?
No, it wasn't.
Well, I only care if there's an assembly
No, it
cut.
wasn't. It was a teaser trailer because it ended with like, oh, it's not like they're making a movie out of it or something.
Oh.
And then it cut to like the title of the movie, and he's like, oh no.
But wouldn't it be great if it was an assembly cut but by David Fincher? Like, he's like, I will not do Alien 3, but I will do Chicken Little, a movie I have no connection to at all. I would watch that. So you
yeah.
saw it in the cinema
Yeah.
and you thought...
And like when I was walking into it, I didn't know what to expect, and then I got this, relatively. Well, I mean, there are aliens in it, but not. It wasn't like a badass action adventure or anything like that. So I was like, oh, okay, it's just about a little kid that, is insecure and stuff.
Yeah.
He wasn't a cool Men in Black guy or anything like that. I was just like, oh, okay. And I remember walking out of being like, I didn't expect that, but alright. Like, I walked out of it basically being like, that was alright.
Okay. And now you've seen it again for the show as an adult.
Yeah, knowing that it's not going to be something, beyond my expectations, and I can appreciate it for what it is.
Right. Now, Will, can you
Yes.
appreciate the fact that Chicken Little apparently has 250,000 feathers animated?
That is a lot of feathers. Where does he fit them all?
Look at him. Now, I wanted to gain your attention with the fact that I did a little bit of research. This movie was released a year before Pixar was bought by Disney. In the Pixar movie Brave, they have, I can't remember the exact figure, but it was about 100,000, I think it was less than 100,000 individual strands of hair animated on her head. And the thing that everyone remembers about Brave is how gorgeously animated the hair was in that movie. I've not seen Brave, and all I remember is
Nor I.
that's the one with Kelly MacDonald, who's an actress I absolutely adore, and she's the chick with arrows, and she has gorgeously animated hair, and that's all I know.
She had a lot of hair.
And that movie has less animated hair than he does feathers, and I just find that amazing that this film that
Because
came out...
feathers are bigger than hair.
Well, yeah, and more complicated on a level too, because they move differently to hair. I mean, think about this. There's so much... By the time Brave came out too, think about all the animation styling that...
Yeah, Brave was like, what, 2013, 2014?
Yeah, hair... probably earlier. I can't remember. I didn't think it was when we were in university.
No, it was, because I remember on
Really?
midnight screenings, they saw it in, like, trailers, and I was
Wow,
like...
I thought it was when I was in high school, but wow. Think about this. For that amount of time, they had so many animation programs for hair. I think there's something in Shrek where the grass animation of the movement is the same for hair animation. Like, the way the grass moves is actually the same that they do for hair. Like, they just use that as a trick.
Okay.
Or the other way around. I can't remember. There's something in one of these where it's like the same animation style for hair as the one for grass, or blah, blah, blah. But think about feathers. They don't move in a way that's natural to hair. Hair moves in a very flowy, freeform way, while feathers are a bit tougher. And I found that the animation in this movie, it's not the top notch that we expect today. But from 2005, that wasn't Pixar as well. I think this holds up better than a lot of people give it credit for. I mean, a lot of people say Shrek is a far better animated movie, including Cameron Diaz. Have you seen that?
No, but,
They did their King Kong reference.
well, Ryan, I'm going to pretend you didn't say that so I can talk about the first quiz question.
Oh, okay, give you it.
Oh.
Whoops.
Oh, it's a pop quiz.
Will, prepare to get popped.
Question
going to
1.
happen.
To what 2005 film does Fish pay homage? Is it King Kong, Fantastic Four, The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, or Hitch?
It has Will Smith in it.
Will Smith trying to get Kevin Smith a date.
Kevin James.
Kevin James is what I meant to
I
say.
would love it if it had Kevin Smith. I would love it.
I apologize, Kevin James. I think you're funny.
Fuck you. Fuck you. You come on this show and say Kevin James
I
is
liked
funny.
Hitch.
You come on. Well, it's unappreciated. I agree. But you come on this show and say sorry to Kevin James you think he's funny? Get out.
You haven't seen Paul Blart Mall Cop?
I've seen both Paul Blart Mall Cops.
I haven't seen the
How
first
did you
one.
see the second one?
How could you not? The first one was a Die Hard homage. I mean, I watched King, but look, I would love the Kevin Smith version in which he's too busy trying to get him a date, but Kevin Smith's too busy trying to roll up a doobie, and he's like, come on, Kevin, and he's like, have you heard about this producer guy who likes spiders, man? And he gives him like a full hour-long speech about John Peters,
John Peters.
who loves spiders, and then like and then you see Will Smith is just like, that is an interesting story. You told it really well, but you're getting far too distracted, Kevin. And then Kevin's like, hey, dude, I have this wicked idea. What happens if we did the Canadian version of Jaws, but it's about a moose, and we call the movie Moose Jaw, which is a real movie coming out next year?
And then Fish Out of Water does that. homage.
Exactly.
What homage is that?
So you know, I think this movie's actually quite well
What's
animated.
the answer, guys?
I think it was Hitch. I gave you my answer.
I see.
That
Yeah.
specific Hitch.
Yeah,
I think
it was
the-
King Kong actually.
You're wrong. I think the movie's quite well animated for the time period. Of course, it could be better now, but I think where a lot of people review this with the aspect of hindsight in terms of like they take for granted. I mean, look at the first Toy Story. It's a classic, but you look at the animation and it's not as great as it could be now. Same with A Bug's Life, but people don't ridicule those movies for bad animation, but they do for this one, which I think is very unfair. I think they're not applying
look
the
at-
time context as they do with those two movies I just mentioned.
Also, look at the dad's hair or the red thing.
It's-
It flops
His
around.
comb. His comb. It's flopping around.
Is that what it's called?
Brilliantly
Comb? Look at his
animated.
comb, guys.
Look at his comb. Look at it.
Look,
Flopping around there.
you know Gary Marshall, the creator of Happy Days?
Oh, the Jewish guy.
He's not Jewish.
Oh, what? I
That's a-
totally did not listen to the mystery box
a
episode.
fact that we learned surprisingly the hard. You know what's very funny about this though? I will say this. I don't think this is a negative criticism, but I could see why people would throw it as a negative criticism. I don't hold any water to this. This movie doesn't have billable stars in it, even for the time period. The biggest star in the movie that I could think of that's actually like someone you could go, whoa, we got this person, is Joan Cusack as Abby. I mean, think about how big she was during this time. This was the same year as School of Rock, I'm pretty sure. School of Rock came out in 2004, 2005, I'm pretty sure.
Isn't this movie 2006?
2005.
Okay, 2005.
And
Yeah, I think School of Rock was like 2004.
School of Rock was a huge movie. I mean, it's one of Jack Black's, if not his best. I think Bernie's one of his greatest films.
Didn't the IMDb trivia say that Jack Black was considered for Chicken Little?
So was Leonardo DiCaprio.
So was everyone, really.
Adam West.
Which is funny, because they already had Chicken Little's voice actress. at one
That's
point.
something, Will. Did you know about this? They recorded the entire dialogue of the movie with Helen Hunt because they thought Chicken Little was going to be a girl.
But they changed their minds.
And you know who Helen Hunt is. She's the voice of Mrs. Incredible. She's also everybody's favorite character in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice as Democratic Senator of Kentucky who sees a jar of Lex Luthor's urine and gets exploded. Oh yeah, spoiler for Batman v Superman, I guess.
I don't even remember that.
That's everyone's
actually-
favorite movie.
Don't
and
you?
favorite
That's actually
scene.
one of the better scenes of the movie. It's like she's the chick that's always talking to Lex Luthor. Like Lex Luthor's always having scenes with her because he's like, "This Superman guy's he's crazy," and she's like, "Let us sort this out in a court of law, in a system of justice," and he's like, "I'll just explode the court because I'm the Joker."
I don't remember much about that movie.
That is what he said.
That's exactly what he said. And then he said, "You know what the biggest lie in America is today, Senator?" And she's like, "What is it?" It's like, "I'm not the Joker."
That's
Can you
word
tell
for
that I
word.
really like Batman v Superman? It's a killer movie. I can't wait to do it on the show one day.
Was that
but-
a real line? I'm not Joker?
Yeah, he
Yes,
specifically
yes, he said
said, and he looked in the camera and then flicked his finger on his lips, going. It's pretty much the line of dialogue. I think it's something more like, I am not the Joker. Ha ha ha! My Jesse Eisenberg impression is pretty great.
That was on point.
Can I give you an honest thing here, guys? Though
Is it about Chicken Little?
it's about the cast. Though I think it's a weakness at the time that the cast is like you're relying on everyone wants to see a movie with Zach Braff and Gary Marshall. Gary Marshall is a big name if you're into the Hollywood industry.
Which all the kids were at the time.
They loved Happy Days. You know, but it's like you seem like the kind of guy who, as a kid, would have loved Happy Days.
My mum loved Happy Days growing up.
You would have. Well, when she grew up.
She grew up, yes.
Yeah, but did she love it when she was growing up? Is that what you meant?
I
Or-
think so, yeah.
Did
You
she
mean
get
when
into
it was
later?
on?
Not when it was airing, but like when she was growing up. I guess reruns or something. Isn't it like from the 50s or something?
No, it's set in the 50s. It was made in the 70s.
Oh, well. Well, she
It's got Ron Howard in
she
it.
didn't come to Australia till the 80s, so I guess they were reruns? Or did it last that long?
I can't remember. It was a long show. It jumped the shark.
Well, that's where it comes from, yeah.
That got referenced in that 70s show.
Yeah, that's where I learned it.
So that's how you know it's made in the 70s, because they're watching it and they're like, hey, it's a thing.
That's a good point. But he also likes I Love
You
Lucy.
should, and they watch Star Trek still, so I mean, you know, you got a point there. So, the cast, you got to rely on Zach Braff. Well, are you a big Zach Braff fan? Have you been braffed?
Why not? Why not?
Did you watch Scrubs growing up, or at all?
A little bit.
Were you a
Not
fan?
in a while, a little bit.
Were you a fan?
I enjoy it, I guess.
You can say the honest truth. Were you a fan?
Okay, I'll just say it. Yeah, I fucking love Scrubs. Watch it every single day.
Wait, didn't you mention Scrubs in the very first episode of Unappreciated Masterpiece, like Turk or something?
Yeah, he was in it.
How much of the cast has eventually shown up in an Unappreciated Masterpiece?
Well, Dr. Dr. Cox has showed up a couple of times. He was in Wild Hogs as the gay policeman. He's shown up a couple of times. A lot of them have, actually. Half the cast of Scrubs has appeared on this show. I'm pretty sure
it's a
Ted
reunion.
has. Well, that's the thing. Zach Braff's biggest piece of work is obviously The X, which is then closely followed by Chicken Little, and then Scrubs, and then Garden State somewhere
This is the
between.
Harry Shearer dog.
I didn't realize that it was this dog, but I should have realized. I thought it was
think
the.
it was. Yeah.
Oh no, it would be. I thought it was the other dog. I don't know if it was the same one, but that was throwing a frisbee to his own son. And I was like, because
There's a lot of dogs.
but there are a lot of dogs. The principal, who's voiced by Wallace Shawn, a frequent guest on the show,
These episodes are good.
he's great. Wallace Shawn's the principal. A lot of people know him from The Princess Bride as the Sicilian. You know, he doesn't look at all Sicilian, but he's inconceivable. And he, obviously, again, here, think about this. They got a lot of voice actors from The Incredibles. They were trying to. They got Holly Hunter and Wallace Shawn. That's a lot more than they needed to. But then they got rid of Holly Hunter, but they're like, we'll keep Wallace Shawn. Because Wallace Shawn was in The Incredibles as the boss. His little boss.
I'm not happy, that guy.
Yeah, him. I'm pretty sure it's him because that's how he sounds. What are you doing, Griswold?
That is precisely it.
Did it worry you at all that Foxy Loxy, later on in the movie, changes character and they decide that's okay?
I mean,
That was my biggest note in this movie.
that's like the biggest note of this movie, according to everyone online.
Is the fact that they allow Foxy Loxy to basically be a romance slave
you
for the
miss-
pig boy.
Did you miss the part where Runt of the Litter said she's perfect?
Yeah, no, I didn't miss that part.
Do you want to go against perfection?
No, you're right. A mindless woman is perfection. You got me
A
there.
mindless woman who, in
Loves
the 40s,
singing.
was a Hitler analogy, I believe it was, Will?
And was a boy.
See, this is the thing about Chicken Little. It raises complex moral questions. Is it okay to brainwash Hitler into being your
Gender-swapped
girlfriend?
Hitler.
Is it okay to turn Hitler into a woman
Brainwashed,
and then brainwash him to be your girlfriend? These important questions in
Who
this day and
sings?
age.
Who sings all the time? Hey, when's this movie set? Like, what time period? So it has to be beyond the 80s, right? Because Raiders of the Lost Ark exists, right? Because that came out in 1981.
Still in the cinemas, though.
It's
I mean-
still in the cinemas.
I mean, it's clearly the future where all humans have died and animals are now taking over,
Oh, you mean Zootopia?
I guess.
That's also one of the things I love, that people compare this movie to Zootopia, a movie that came out like 12 years later. And I'm just like, come on. Or like 11 years later. It's like, come on. It's not fair to compare two movies that both have animal civilizations in them, because for one, Chicken Little came out first. You know, it kind of set up the groundwork for Zootopia, which is also a Disney animated movie. And I think it's unfair to say, oh, well, Zootopia did it so much better. Well, of course it did it better, because you had 11 years of technology to grow, while this was pushing the boundaries, and this wasn't with the technology that Pixar had, which were the number one guys in the game when it came to this form of animation. Disney bought them eventually, and then they have that animation skill now, but like, the bigger competitor would be DreamWorks, right? They were doing Shrek, and let's be honest, you look at the first Shrek movie, animation doesn't hold up as well as you want to believe it does. Hence, is that why it's a meme now? Shrek? Is that one of the reasons why it's a meme?
The animation quality?
The animation quality and
No.
style?
No, none of the memes are about the animation.
No,
quality,
but
is
like,
it?
does that factor in at all into the memes? Because of the gross animation style? Does that factor into any of the memes? Because I think it does. Because
I mean, I
sometimes
guess
like,
there are
the
some-
joke is it's just Shrek's face. And I'm
I
like,
know
is that
that-
a part of the joke?
I know that sometimes they make like more grotesque images of him, but I don't know that the art style is the big thing.
You know what's great? We could talk about the definition of these Shrek memes for the entire episode, and we will never come to a conclusion because memes are so deeply seated in references to
memes-
references.
The original definition of meme was a recurring idea.
Exactly. So we'll never know. There'll be that one person who
Eventually
created
we'll get
the
to the-
meme, and they'll be like, "I know, but I'm not telling
Eventually,
you."
we'll get to the point where we talk about the shipping between Shrek and Shadow the Hedgehog that was really popular at some point. That's real, Will. That's real. That's real.
The fact that you know it's real is what makes it even
Well,
better.
you look it up. It's like, what's the deal with Shrek? Oh, Shrek and Shadow the Hedgehog shipping. It's like,
Definitely
oh,
look that
okay.
What's the deal with Shrek?
Better Shadow than Cameron Diaz, I guess.
Yeah, everything's better than Cameron Diaz, I guess. It's kind of like, I know that's one of the reasons why B-movie is popular, is the animation style is not that great, so a lot of people make fun of it, like, through its what is considered bad animation. I feel like I know different animating companies, but if this took place in the same universe B-movie did, I wouldn't be surprised at all, Chicken Little.
Nice one, Ryan. You wouldn't be surprised.
I got it.
Yeah.
I set that up for you to then point out for everyone else to notice.
I didn't point it out. I just said what happened.
You pointed it out. You emphasized on B.
I didn't point with my finger, though.
If you just said what happened, you wouldn't have made an emphasis on a word I didn't emphasize. So there you go. It's
I know.
pointing it out.
I was trying to think, what would Reese say in this situation? So
If Jesus was Greek. So, William, having to revisit this film a whole, what was it, 13 years now since it came out?
yeah.
Years later, did you remember the plot of the movie? And if so, did it hold up even better than your first viewing? And if not, what was it like relearning the movie?
I remembered the I suppose twist, the sci-fi twist that's coming up.
Yeah.
I recalled all this and you know, it's aged like fine milk, fine wine. Just gets better with every passing year.
Now,
I enjoyed relearning it. It was like relearning to walk. It's very fun.
you know, it's very funny. I wrote down a note during this scene here that his reflection in the spoon is the wrong way round.
Oh, that's a good point.
And then I wrote in brackets Bartek in all caps because I felt like Bartek's going to come into this episode having noticed this and being like, that's the one flaw of the movie, guys. This
I
one animation flaw. They should know how spoons work.
I didn't notice it at the time, but when you mentioned it, I immediately was like, oh, it should have been upside down.
Don't you like how everything's eggy in this room? His bed's the shape of an egg. He's got a little...
Ryan, can I blow your mind?
Blow my load.
Where do chickens come from?
The urethra.
Eggs.
But which came first?
Oh!
The urethra.
Yeah, you got it. God came first. Hey, do they believe in God in this universe? And if so, what animal is God?
They probably believe in the big chicken from Jimmy Neutron.
I forgot about that, yeah.
Yeah. Poltron, was it?
I don't remember, but
Or was
Jimmy...
that the egg guy?
Poltra? Was it a
Jimmy
tra?
Neutron also had Patrick Stewart in it as the villain, King Goo,
And
and
to tie
Martin
it back
Short.
and to tie it back to Shrek, those were among the first two films to be nominated for Best Animated Feature.
Yes, and no, you have to admit, Jimmy Neutron has become a meme because of its animation as well.
And some of its characters, yeah.
But mainly the animation, like there's a whole episode of the show in which Carl his butt is pregnant. That's apparently an
I don't remember
episode.
that one.
Oh,
I watched a lot of Jimmy Neutron. I don't remember that episode.
that's an episode. His butt gets pregnant. And it's great. The best part of Jimmy Neutron were the parents, and that's why the movie doesn't hold up very well, because the movie is about let's remove the parents, and I'm like, but the parents are the best parts. Like, everyone who knows Jimmy Neutron reflects upon it having seen the TV series. Like, I think more people remember the TV series more than the movie
I
itself.
mean, I definitely watched the show more, but I watched the movie first.
But, oh yeah, because that's how it came out. I saw it in the cinema. But
I didn't, but
I might have seen that in the drive-in as well.
I saw it on DVD.
But that's the movie where it says, hey, you know the best parts of all of Jimmy Neutron, even though we haven't made the show yet? The parents, let's remove them. I can see why people don't like that movie as much anymore.
Because they don't remember the chicken.
Yes, that too. So Chicken Little, why? I do mean it though. If this is an animal world, do they believe in a specific animal as God, or do they all have like their religion is what animal they are? Like chickens believe in chicken god, cows believe in cow god, dogs believe in dog god. Like what goes on in animal world? Or do they believe in human as God?
Question: what's dog god backwards?
Well, dog God.
I think that if that is the case, Ryan, then we are seeing a utopia of diversity and tolerance.
Yeah, so what? Do you think it's an atheistic society in which they don't believe in a God?
That's not what I said. I said that.
You can have utopian atheism.
Well, but they're not all atheists. If that's what that's not. I was saying that if they all believe different things,
Yeah, you're
then
right.
one, they're not all atheists,
Yeah,
but they're all tolerating.
But
each
I
other.
am kind of like questioning in our world that we live in, where we all believe in lots of different things. We all kind of, the ones who believe in God, believe that God is a human for the most part. There's no one else because we're created in God's image. But
we don't believe he's human, but that he made humans.
Yeah, but if you went up there and saw God, he would be human.
If we were
right?
made in his image, then yeah, that would be
Exactly, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So God is...
He'd be humanoid.
He's man-made?
He's what?
Is he man-made? Is he a human
No,
God?
God made God, dummy.
Exactly. So, is he a human ship? So, Bartek, is God in this universe... What I'm trying to really get at is God in this universe at the end of this movie going to be the aliens?
I mean, I don't think the movie really touches on religion that much, Ryan.
What I'm saying
You
is,
think
who's the
there's-
Pope?
You think there's like a Chariots of the Gods?
And
thing
what I'm
going on
saying
here?
is
the aliens
we're
taught
here
the
to-
chickens how to build the pyramids, and they worship them as gods.
So that they could grow acorns.
Is this why you think the movie failed, Ryan? Because they didn't explain the religion aspect?
I don't think they explain the sociological aspects well enough, especially of the religious background of the movie. I thought this was a real thing happening here, by the way. I thought, what the heck is going on? And then a butt wiggled, and then a tail and a butt wiggled. They're like, oh, it's not. It's karaoke.
Not the TV, but this scene was one of the things I remembered.
Which character? Oh, do you have a character? Which character are you quiz?
I think there were some, but I think I opened it and it asked, like, what's your favorite Joan Cusack movie? And I'm like, this is not relevant.
Wait, you should have answered that. Yours would be School of Rock, right? Because that's what you know her from, I imagine.
I mean, I don't really know her filmography that well.
You look her up. She's an actress that's been in a ton of things that
I
you'll
know
be
she
like,
has,
whoa, I've
yeah.
actually seen these. She's the brother of John Cusack.
I just thought, like, what's
Brother.
what's that got to do with
Her brother is John
what
Cusack.
character I am? I know that's kind of the point
Because
of these quizzes.
she
but...
is a character in it.
Yeah, but what is
Well,
is
did-
my answer going to determine that I'm runt of the litter?
Yeah, might
Maybe.
be. It might be.
Oh,
if
you like School of Rock? You're lunt of the
Lunt of the litter?
lunt of the Ritter, Ryan.
John Ritter's dead. He had a heart attack, and then they had to recast him with
Don't even know him.
Seth. He was in my 8 Simple Rules About Dating My Teenage Daughter.
That sounds like a great show. Never heard of it though.
Really? That was a big show. It was the launching
what
point.
were the rules?
Oh, I can't remember, but the
They were-
launching
but
off
they were simple,
point.
and there were 8 of them.
The launching off career point of Kaylee Cuoco, who's the chick in The Big Bang Theory. She was the daughter. She was the eldest daughter in the show. She was like the hot daughter, while they had a younger daughter who was a redhead and a nerd. And it's like, oh, good. And they had Leela from Futurama in it as the mum. And then he died. The lead actor died of a heart attack. And then the show decided to keep going. So they brought in his father, who was played by the guy who played the original Maverick. And then they thought, shit, this isn't enough. I think we need to bring in someone else. And I think they brought in Seth Green or Andy Dick. I can't remember which one. And then someone's going to be like, actually, it was David Spade. But it was one of the 3. And the show
That's a
just...
holy trinity.
And the
right
show
there.
just kept going and going, and no one watched it because no one wanted to watch a show without John Ritter, the dad, because he was like one of those actors that was just charismatic. He was in the original It. He was the one who used to be a fat boy. Then he grew up to be a thin man who was slightly fat and had a beard. There you go. That's the history of John Ritter.
That's his life.
This is the John Ritter podcast, brought to you by John Ritter. We're all John Ritter. Remember to be John Ritter to each other. John Ritter.
I disagree.
Stay safe.
Really? You know what's the weirdest thing about John Ritter too? He's in the movie Cape Fear, technically. You know the movie Cape Fear?
I know the Simpsons parody of it.
Right. You know the classic scene in which Sideshow Bob is sitting there smoking a cigar laughing at the movie that's going on?
Mm-hmm.
In the movie Cape Fear, the movie that they're watching is a movie with John Ritter doing a parody of The Shining. And that's what Robert De Niro is cackling about so hard. Now, how does this relate to Chicken Little, you may ask? Good question. I don't know for a fact, but I have a sneaking suspicion, call it a hot take, that John Ritter watched Chicken Little just before he died. And I'm not saying that this movie caused the death of John Ritter, but it could have.
You can't rule it out.
You can't rule it out. When the court case comes after this episode of, we've got new evidence, it was a murder by Disney, you can't rule it out. You can't rule it out.
Okay, Ryan, but between when this film came out in cinemas and us doing this episode, was there any point in that range of years where Chicken Little surprisingly came back into your life?
Into my life?
Yes.
Me personally?
I mean, you can't speak for anyone else, I don't think.
I can speak for John Ritter, apparently.
I don't think you can.
I don't know.
I did. Do it now. Speak for him.
Well, John Ritter just wants you guys to know that Chicken Little may or may not have killed him.
Okay, fine. You can speak for him, but still answer the question.
Did it come back into my life? Yes.
Surprisingly, unexpectedly.
Unexpectedly came back in. I think it became a meme at one point, Chicken Little.
Not that I remember, but...
I'm
Did it?
pretty sure
I'll just
it has.
accept that without question.
I'm pretty sure
Since
it
when
has.
do these 3D type of movies become memes?
One of my favorite vines is a Chicken Little reference. It's this guy who looks exactly like Chicken Little, like a grown man who looks exactly like a human version of Chicken Little, like glasses and everything. And it's just him in his bathroom saying, "I do not look like Chicken Little. Do not call me that." And then he spins the camera around and it's a picture of Chicken Little on the mirror, and he's like, "I am not him. He is a coward. I am not a coward." And the video ends.
That does sound pretty good.
And he looks exactly like Chicken Little, but it's like one of those things that when only a person, like when they point it out themselves, you go, shit, he does look like Chicken Little. I had seen that guy do vines before and I never thought, oh, that guy looks like Chicken Little, but I guess enough people say that's how he's come back to my life, Chicken. What about you?
So, this decade, we live in an age where, this is regarding video games.
Oh, no. Is there a video game of this?
Apparently there isn't. Apparently it's good, but this isn't
On
what
the
it's about.
GameCube?
I think around that time would be where it would be.
Didn't they always bring up video games of all the newest Disney movies? Like,
Yeah.
I played the Lilo and Stitch one. It was pretty good.
Yeah, last decade they were like, oh, we can buy licenses. They're expensive though, so we can't put the budget to the game.
I enjoyed
yeah.
the GameCube.
I played the Shark Tale game a lot. Anyway.
I played the Monsters Inc. one on Game Boy a lot.
Any good?
Ah!
Anyway, so we're in an age where a lot of games get remastered and re-released, and a year and a half ago, I'd never played this series growing up, but I got into the Kingdom Hearts series.
Yeah.
And in that series, you can unlock summons, which are always these Disney characters. Like, the first game, you get, like, Dumbo, and you get Mushu and stuff like that.
Okay.
In the second game, they downscaled it to only 4 summons, and the first one you get is Chicken Little. Which took me by surprise. Like, oh, I didn't expect Chicken Little to turn up in Kingdom Hearts
And he's
2.
one of the only of the 4?
Yeah. Him, Genie, from Aladdin,
Yeah, I know.
Stitch, and it counts as one summon, but Peter Pan and Tinkerbell.
Wow. So you have
He's right
3
up there.
very iconic
And he's
characters.
the first one you get.
You have 3 very iconic characters and Tinkerbell. So,
Well, there's 5, but 4
but
summons,
one, yeah. But I'm not saying that Stitch isn't iconic, but he's fairly well known.
Hmm.
I mean, that was a fun TV show, the Lilo and Stitch TV show, in which they had to hunt down the other experiments. Did you ever play the game?
No.
No, hold on. The online game
You
in
can
which...
tell me to hold on, but the answer's
Hold
still no.
on, Bartek. You may want to hold the egg on your face.
Oh, no, the answer's going to be yes at
We
the end
just
of this.
missed the scene, by the way, where it just cut to black and then cut back to the movie because I guess Disney thought ad break. But
Cut
there
to a
was
plasma ball.
I don't know if you remember this game, but there was an online game of Lilo and Stitch in which you had to play as Experiment. I think it was like 625, who was the one that was obsessed with eating sandwiches, and you had to make a sandwich, and it's like you holding a plate of bread, and it's like things falling from the sky, from the fridge, and you have to like dodge getting like bad things in your sandwich. You had to make like the biggest sandwich. The problem of the game was you could build a sandwich that was bigger than the screen itself, but the game would not end unless you hit a bad one, but you wouldn't know that because you cannot see it because it's not on the screen.
I see.
It was a great game. So if you hadn't played it, shame on you. Where was your childhood at? Because that was one of the biggest games in my primary school experience. That and playing the paddle pop games, which are a form of ice cream in Australia. It's like if you had a paddle pop, they would have a little thing on the back. It was like, yeah, you want to play the game so you can get more paddle pops? I'm like, yeah, I want more paddle pops. And then you're like, shit, I don't have an account because I'm a child. So I can't get more paddle pops, but I'll play the game. That's what the relevance of this was for me, Chicken Little.
Yes. I'm sorry for the irrelevant Chicken Little summon in Kingdom Hearts 2 topic.
You should be sorry. Now let's get back to John Ritter and his corpse. So Bartek, is he in the newest Kingdom Hearts game? Did E3 announce that Chicken Little is going to be the main play character in the new Kingdom Hearts game?
I certainly hope so. Oh, but the point with him being in the Kingdom Hearts 2 was that game was released before the movie, so it was
So
kind
they
of...
thought it was going to be a big deal.
Yeah, they thought it was going to be a big
sneak
deal.
peek.
Apparently they wanted to... It was a way of promoting it in Japan.
Ah.
So Chicken Little debuted in Kingdom Hearts 2. Don't forget that, everyone.
Yes. So, guys, who is your favorite character in this? Because I'll tell you something. My fiance, she loved fish.
Fish out of water.
Fish out of water, or just fish. They eventually, halfway through the movie, just call him
It's
fish.
like runted litters runt. And, yeah.
Fish reminds me a bit of Kenny from South Park.
Yeah.
And I always enjoyed
That's
Kenny.
a good point,
so...
yeah.
Does he die every single episode until they decide that's no longer a good gag and they just
They kill him off for real, but then they bring him back
because
and they just don't do much
fans
with him.
rejected that idea and then they don't stand by the ethics, but they don't have any ethics, so it's like, what's the point? And then they reveal his face, but then they're like, we don't want you to remember he has a face. South Park's continuity is great.
Well, I
Well,
mean, they revealed his face
in the
way
movie-
before, like, they killed him off for real, yeah.
in the movie, right?
Yeah.
That's when they reveal it. Yeah, I know. Why does he escape? The kid.
Oh,
Kirby?
he was curious.
Yeah, but is that supposed to keep him there, or is that like a bed?
I mean, I thought that he'd just be like an experiment, because that was just out in the hallway, right?
Yes.
Maybe it's a teleporter to his room or something.
I don't know what it is.
Maybe that's how they sleep.
What is this alien technology?
The aliens. Why are they obsessed with hexagons when they are in fact egg-shaped themselves?
Why is it hexagons when at the beginning he said it was an octagon?
He said it looked like that.
Pretty sure he said that's it, and they're like, this is a stop sign.
No, he said he said it looked like he did the shape on the ground, and then another person went like that, and they pointed at the stop sign. He's like, yeah.
Just count
So
Just count the sides. You'll find out what they're obsessed with.
You'll find out they're obsessed with sixes. They love 66666. That's more than the devil. I like how this works. Just holding the button works. That's such a childlike logic, and I love that little gag that they're still continuously pushing it, but he's just holding onto it, and that works. Sometimes you wish that's how it works with buttons like that. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. Where you just hold on and it'll stay closed. I just love that little touch in this. It's like this movie's full of little touches like that. Like, I like the fact that Foxy Loxy was a girl. It was so easy for it to be a boy character. Usually in movies like this, the antagonistic character, the bully character, the jock, the most popular kid is usually a boy in this kind of context, but
Yeah.
it's actually a girl, and I thought, interesting.
Well, they're also in like that kind of tween age range, so maybe some of the boys haven't gone through puberty, and at that point, the girls are kind of the more matured ones.
She's
so...
also a tomboy.
tomboy, yeah.
You have a lot of tomboys at that tween age. But who's your favorite character, guys? Because my fiance loves the fish out of water. I personally loved Adam West. Not the character, just the actor. But no, I loved him.
Chicken Ace Little, I think it was.
I don't think it's fair to say he was
Ace.
my favorite character. I did quite like the mayor of the town.
Turkey Lurkey, was that his name?
Yeah,
That's the case.
that is the case. Yeah, Turkey Lurkey. Hannibal Turkey Lurkey. Who is your favorite character?
I actually quite like the dad.
Oh!
Oh,
He is the
snap.
reason that this film's criticized the most,
Yeah, I
because
was-
a lot of people watch the Profanity Guys, but a lot of people will say, and I quote, he's a cunt.
Yeah, they say
I
he's the
do hear
worst
that.
worst Disney villain ever, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
But
weird.
you liked him, huh? Is it because it's Gary Marshall and he's Jewish and he's not Jewish?
No, I thought he was a very sympathetic character.
Hear that, guys? Bartek sympathized with the biggest Disney villain ever.
So
He's even worse than Frollo, a guy who literally performed genocide. What about you, Will? Do you empathize with a guy that's worse than a guy that performs genocide, or did you have another
Oh,
character
is
who
this
was
going to
your
be?
favorite?
Is this actually going to be Mickey Mouse? Because I only read about it. I didn't look at it.
You don't
we're
know
gonna
how
see
to
if there's a
read.
secret one.
There isn't. I tell you, it's all just
Shut up, old man. Oh,
lies.
Ryan's back. Never mind.
See, it's just crop symbol.
Oh, maybe that one at the
Oh,
bottom.
the bottom. If you like tilted it on an angle, it's Mickey Mouse. Well, Ryan, you did say
Tilting.
it's secret, right? So
Shh, don't
tilting's-
talk about it then.
tilting's a pretty secret thing.
Shh, don't talk about it. Disney's listening. They always listen.
They don't listen to Chicken Little stuff.
Shut up. They'll definitely listen now that you said that.
Well, they have to listen to in order to hear it.
And then they're going to try and offer us $50 billion to buy
To
our
what?
podcast so that we become the Disney corporate machine.
This episode brought to you by Walt Disney.
This episode brought to you by the capitalism that is Disney. Buy us now, please. So, Will, favorite character? You can say Runt.
Nah, I probably liked Fish more, but just to be contrarian, I'm gonna say the coach.
That coach character we all remember.
Oh,
That
yeah, from the
coach
first act.
guy.
You know, the one who's like, you don't get to go play.
What's your favorite thing about him? He's sympathetic?
Yeah, why not? He's really sympathetic. I sympathize with him.
Do you
empathize, though?
when he said
No, that's a bit gay.
when
I
he
think I'll
said-
stay away from that.
He doesn't empathize because that's a bit gay. Brilliant, Will. Just what are we back at? What are we back in primary school?
That's way too intelligent.
Yeah, I
for
totally don't have a
anything I'd be
YouTube
saying in
comment with a
primary
similar
school.
thing.
Is there another like-minded person out there?
Their name was Will Brooks. Weirdly enough.
The true heroes who like the coach.
It wasn't about the coach, but the gay thing.
Look. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I did do a little bit of work on Chicken Little and found out that he has a big gay following. Because Chicken Little
Is it because he's a little cock?
No, it's good. Well, he's actually a chicken,
His
not
dad's
a
a big
rooster.
cock.
He's a chicken, not a rooster. Those are two different things.
You're right.
I thought his dad was a cunt.
No, rooster.
Oh, okay.
So the big
No,
thing.
chicken. Sorry.
Come on, guys.
I'm not good at this.
What's
Chicken-
a foul?
You are.
It's where you hit the ball into the behind the lines of the
yes,
baseball field.
That's close. Close. Got it right, but he meant foul as
So I
in
was-
an animal.
Oh.
So the thing of this is, Chicken Little does have a gay following because he's considered one of the biggest representatives of a twink.
You know, I was looking to say, is Ryan
animation.
going to say twink? And he did.
No, I'm a twunk. That's a twink who's a hunk. One of the best videos I've ever seen.
Wouldn't that be a twunk?
That's a twunk.
Did you say twunk?
Yes.
Is that
What did I hear?
TWU?
TWUNK.
Oh, I had TWO. Twonk.
Twonk. He's a twunk. A twunk is a twunky hunk.
Hey, look, Ryan,
I
it's your
finally
favorite
understand
character.
my animals now.
My favorite character has a great gag in which he wants to come back for a nickel, I do believe it is.
I thought it was a penny.
I thought it was a penny
Ah.
too, because there was a quiz question that asked, and I said penny, and I got it right.
Oh, we
Is
just
it
spoiled
there on your computer for me to get it right or wrong? Is it?
Yes, the opposite of yes.
Is it time to get popped?
What?
Pay attention, Bartek.
No, I heard him, but
Pay attention to earlier when I
That really
said
fell
prepare. When you said we're going to do a pop quiz, and I said prepare to get popped, guys, and now Will is following that gag that I made.
didn't I mention like a minute ago I'm not good at remembering things?
It was just dead
Bartek-
silent
Continuity!
for a second.
Remember that I don't remember that.
No, that's my job.
What? Who are you? What are you doing here? We're talking about what movie now? Chicken Little. Did you know he's a
Kurchak
twink?
Maui?
Did you know he's a twink icon? Isn't that the weirdest thing that everything that we grew up with in life, it's some kind of gay icon to someone?
Do we end this episode by going to Fur Affinity and looking up Chicken Little?
The fact that you know the site says a lot, for one.
I mean,
And that you already came in here with your Shadow the Hedgehog shipping knowledge.
I've mentioned that years
I'm
ago.
not saying that you're a furry secretly, Bartek, but I'm saying it publicly. Are you a furry?
That's not saying, that's asking.
Okay, I'll say it and ask it at the same time. So Bartek's a furry?
That wasn't a question.
Yeah, that's
I said it with
stupid.
a questioning tone.
But who are you asking, Will?
The audience.
But why were you looking at me?
Let's do because what? The audience, are they in my house right now?
This
James
is an audio
is,
commentary.
And Jessica.
James, Jessica, and Jessica James? Is Bartek a furry? Furry Bartek? Pop quiz. Prepare to get popped.
Is the answer no, nah, maybe, or no?
Or purr.
What's Polish for no?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many times in life have you heard non-Polish people in Australia? That's an actual response to a question when people just go, "So, what do you think of the movie? Do you think it was good?" Yeah. People have done that as a response. Do you ever hear that in life and think, "Oh, they're saying Polish for no"?
No, the thing...
You mean yeah?
Yeah. No, I've mentioned this a million times. It's always because it rhymes with the word yeah. So I'm like, are you saying no or yeah?
Man.
That's the big thing for me, at least.
Now, did you think this alien was cute? And did you want one?
Yeah, reasonably cute. Didn't necessarily want
Sorry, did you
him.
say yeah or yeah?
I said yeah.
Oh, good. They rhyme.
You really are Polish now. Or at
What?
least me.
Yeah.
Okay. Reasonably cute, but no, I can't say I ever wanted one. Because then the aliens would come.
But then they would be okay if you told them it was an accident. You left them behind. You're bad parents. And you were Gary Marshall saying...
Question, if I said yes,
Yeah?
I do want... No, if I said yes, I do want one, would that make me a furry?
Only now because you asked the question about being a furry, so yeah.
Well, it's just like, he's not necessarily an animal, but does it count it because he is kind of fluffy?
Yes, it definitely counts. He's not human.
Fair point.
And
What
furries
about-
usually... isn't furries usually relate... I mean, is it a different thing when it's a non-furry animal?
No, if it's birds, it counts and all. That's you're not
Okay, but
furry.
lizards?
Do they
Yeah,
change the name?
it's animals.
Do
It
they
doesn't
change the
necessarily-
name or?
No, it's not necessarily like if you like furry animals. Just like you like animals, you're furry.
Okay, so you're the furry expert. So when furrydom is what it's called, right?
I think furdom.
Look, guys, if you're listening to this in your fursona, I'm not complaining. You're
Hey,
listening
you know
to
the
the Chicken
terminology.
Little. I watch Chicken Little, of course I know. So if you're watching this in
What's
your...
Chicken Little's persona? Or is it flesh sona? Like, what is what's the Chicken Little example?
He's
equivalent?
Fev-sona.
His what?
Fev-sona, because he's in feathers.
Oh, okay.
It works.
But I mean, that's... But he's already feathered, so why would he have a feather sona?
Well, you're assuming he's a chicken.
I mean, he's got feathers.
He's too little to be a chicken. He's clearly a sparrow.
But he has feathers, though. So why would he have a feather sona?
What? You're saying that people don't dress up as other people to get turned on?
I mean,
You're saying that there's no one out there dressing up as other people, getting sexually aroused?
Well, I don't really consider that a sona kind of thing. going
Don't
on.
you? Oh, the perverts will.
I guess
They're going to
they
be
will,
listening
yeah.
to this guy, the fucking idiot Bartek. He doesn't know anything about sodas.
He knows furdom. The term, though. I think
Okay.
that's the term.
Inferdum, and guys, please message us. We have a Facebook page called Spit and Polish Presents. You can message us or put it publicly on our Facebook, the terminology inferdum. But inferdum do you think there's different names for the different subcategories of being a furry? So like these ones who are into furry animals, they got like the furries, and then maybe the ones who are into fish have a different kind of like little name. Like they don't have to be like
So
these
sort of scaloids.
scaloids or something, or gilboys or something, and then like the ones who are into lizards, or the ones who are into marsupials. Are they going to be different to furries or what? Like
Maybe, I don't know. It's a good question.
maybe there's someone out there who's like, does it count if I dress up as what I imagine to be alien creatures? Like, because we brought up that, does this technically count as furry? I mean, he is furry, but does it count as a furry if we dressed up as it?
One of the things I like thinking about is
Going to the toilet in a furry suit? I agree. It worries me too.
well, Ryan, you don't have to worry because diaper fur is a thing.
Oh, I imagine it is a thing. Will, you glad you're learning about furries in our episode about Chicken Little?
I'm on cloud 9.
You know, often when you bring stuff up to Will, like movies, he writes them down and says, "I'll check it out later." I wonder if Fur Affinity's going to be on that list.
Chuck it on the list.
Hey, Will. Hey, Will. Hey, Will. You know how you do that nice, polite thing of actually noting down recommendations, even if we give them off the cuff?
I do that.
Please
You
don't.
know,
This
wait.
time.
Hold on. You know how you do that nice thing that normal people or most impolite people don't do? Well, Bartek noticed that, and he wants
And
to
I'm
make
using it.
sure that you,
Oh, no.
you do it for a sexual fetish. Just. Also, don't come at me, furries. I mean, I would love it if we spark some controversy between the furdom, but please. Hey, did they use zippers, or is that anti-furry?
What do you mean?
Zippers. Are zippers used in their costumes at all, or is that anti? Or would it only be Velcro? Because I feel like zippers, if they use this is me thinking way too much, but
I
if
think
they
so,
use
yeah.
zippers,
I guess.
would that go against like the fur kind of idea of it being an animal? Like,
I
use
can't
a
imagine-
Velcro, it seems like it would line up better in the furdom world's mindset.
I can't imagine it would matter that much, but I can see someone wanting to be a bit more authentic and being like, I made this decision for this reason.
Yeah.
So-
Please, you don't think the furdom is elitist? You don't think that there's people there drinking their, I imagine they drink milk.
Just unpasteurized raw milk.
Drinking their milk in their fur saunas, being like, that filthy scum used a zipper. Kick him out of the doghouse, and they're dressed as lions.
I remember I was watching a Let's Play last year where
Oh my god, I don't know where this is going.
it's nothing crazy. It's just a very minor thing. There were 3 guys in it. And
I'm deeply worried right now.
don't worry.
Nothing makes me worry more.
There were 3 guys in the Let's Plays, and one of them is a furry, and he mentioned that when he went to furry conventions, which exist by the way, there weren't that many women there.
You don't say!
Yeah.
Wait a sec.
How would they
some
tell?
furry convention get like a nerve gas attack and people almost die?
But they didn't, because they were wearing fursonas, which are an active form of mask wear. Hey, the only furry I know that I pay attention to is Adam from Your Movie Sucks is a furry, and that's all. That's the only person I know in my
I
viewing
think he was on
content.
an official podcast and he mentioned that. Is he also gay?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I've
also
heard him
his
on official
profile,
podcasts.
he's got this iconic picture of him pulling like this really face as his YouTube like image. If you see the full photo, it's him underneath a pile of furries. Like, that's the actual picture. It's him underneath a pile of furries doing weird shit, and it's him being like, ugh. Also, Malcolm from Channel Awesome, the black guy,
Yeah?
he's a furry too.
Okay. I thought you were going to say
Welcome-
Malcolm in the middle.
Welcome to the Fur Pod.
Frankie.
If we had to start a furry podcast, what would you want to name it? I feel like they exist. And if we had to start one, I feel like the
Would
obvious
we have
choice...
a Polish reference in there too?
Maybe, if you could come up with a good one. But I think it would be something like, Welcome to the Furcast. Welcome to the Furcast, in which
It
we
seems
talk...
a bit plain, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, this is the obvious one. Like,
Yeah.
I imagine if I typed into iTunes right now, Furcast, it will be there, and it'll be some guy, and you can't hear him very well because it's in his persona talking into a
Ryan,
microphone.
I think just to be clear,
it'll be
you're
like,
Ryan,
"Hi, guys, it's me,
Ryan, just to just to work on your terminology, it's fursuit. Fursona is a character you put on.
Yeah, well, he's in his fursona.
He's in his fursuit, and he's...
Yeah, but he's in his fursona
you're
while
talking
he's
about-
doing the show.
But you're talking about it like it's a physical thing.
Okay, yeah, isn't it?
Well, I mean, like,
Isn't it?
if I'm putting on...
It's like if I'm doing LARPing, I'm going to be in my outfit.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
it-
just going to walk
Yeah,
up and be like,
but
hello, guys.
The outfit is not the fursona, that's the outfit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do understand, but how many people do their fursona
It's like you
without
can't-
the outfit
You
on?
can't hear me because I'm doing my Christopher Walken impression. That's like basically what you're saying.
No, but that doesn't work as well. See, that can be done without a costume.
If you're
But
saying-
do
if
they
you're-
do their personas without costumes primarily, or do they do it with costumes?
I don't think their costumes cover their mouths is the thing. So
Don't they?
I don't think so.
I always see the ones that are dressed up in the full gear, that are like with the dog heads and everything.
I would call it the rabies variety hour.
And then there's this one poor guy out there, they're like, no,
Fish don't get rabies. I'm a fish.
I'm in Australia,
true,
we
you'd
don't
be
have
safe.
rabies. Bartek, your furry podcast? What would you call it?
It's a good question.
Would you the Furcast? I think that's a good one. I think it's going. I bet it's out there. I bet the Furcast is out there. I can't wait to listen
Yeah,
to
even if it's not a podcast, I'm sure something's called the Furcast out there.
it. It's a furry, but he's got an arm cast on.
Honestly, this episode's been turned into the Furcast.
Welcome to the Furcast. Meow. That's how it would open. That's exactly how it opens. Bartek, I'm very,
Ryan, don't-
very worried about how much I'm learning about furries. And I only started learning about them because I did mention that he is a twink icon, and then that led to furry, which
Well, yeah, you brought up the
I'm
gay...
yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of furries are listening going, I'm glad that you're connecting the gay dot between us. I'm glad that that's been connected. Because I guess, what, the connotation is all furries are gay? Is that the connotation? The negative connotation?
The guy I was talking about in the Let's Play is gay, but yeah. He loves
Is
Tiny
his na-
Tiger.
From Crash Bandicoot?
Yeah. They were playing... At one point, they were playing Crash 3, and you know how when you enter the levels, his face appears? They were playing the twin set, the new, like, remake version. They're like, oh, he's having a moment. And he's like, I kind of am.
Oh my god. Oh,
dear.
fuck me. You said it wasn't weird.
The part I mentioned first
Remember
wasn't.
when you said it wasn't weird? Remember
Well, that was talking about the females in the
Yeah,
fandom.
that
This
was
is something else.
that was weird too, buddy.
I was deeply worried and I was vindicated.
Bartek's barometer for weird is way up. Fuck me. You know what's really bad? There's one furry listening to this still, being like, when are they going to talk about the fan art that we do? We're very artistic. You are.
I mentioned Fur Affinity.
Yes, but when are we going to actually talk about it? Because you just said it's going to be on the fur video. I said, you know that as a website? That disgusts me. When are we going to talk about their genuine artistic abilities?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Let's
What
end the
animal
episode.
is the best drawn? Bartek, I imagine you've visited this site and DeviantArt a couple of times. What animal is the most frequently drawn in the furdom?
That's a good question.
Would it be dog?
I feel like something along the lines of fox would be a common one.
Ooh, Foxy Luxy. Oh man, this
A
movie
jackal?
is a furdom's dream.
Well, that and Zootopia. Right? Zootopia.
Oh, well,
is a big one.
Zootopia is obvious. Have you seen the one that are what were they? The anti-abortion Zootopia things? Have you seen that?
Can you be more specific with things?
They're comics and fan art that's anti, like there was ones that were anti-abortions and then there were ones that were pro-abortion because of the anti-abortion. So it's like he gets her pregnant and she's like, I want to get an abortion because we're going to have like a mixed kid and that's gross. And then it's like, no, abortion's bad. These are really detailed, disgusting.
With Zootopia characters?
With Zootopia, with the main two from Zootopia.
Also, I'm surprised I went with fox and not wolf. I think wolf would be a big one.
Oh, Woofy would be a biggie. What about, you know what's the animal that you think's underrepresented in the furdom? That one animal. I'm gonna say tick.
Sea slugs.
So you're talking about like microscopic kind of things?
No, just one that you don't see people doing.
I mean,
I don't think a lot of people are
Just to
going
be-
out as ticks.
Just to be clear, I don't go out of my way to look at this stuff. But I do come across it
okay.
sometimes.
See,
Denial, regret, delusion.
Will, one time I was watching this Let's Play. It's not gonna get weird. 15 minutes later, it gets extremely weird. Was it Adam from Your Movie Sucks? He does Let's Plays as well.
No, it wasn't.
Man, they're just multiplying these
Was
furries.
it that black guy from...
from Channel Awesome?
Does he do Let's Plays?
No, but
I don't
he
know.
does go to furry conventions, apparently. Welcome to the Furcast. Bartek still didn't come up with his furry podcast name. Will he have it by the end of the episode?
I've been asked so many questions. I've still got to say what crazy... Oh, I did say crazy little chicken.
Yep, you did. So, is there any other pop quiz?
Yes, but we were also talking about furries that I couldn't
Let's
get it
catch
out
up
there.
on Bartek's pop quiz. Hey, Will, are you ready to get popped?
Yeah.
Okay. Question number 1. Are you a furry? Yes or no?
I've already asked question 1.
Okay, question number 2.
Thank you.
Are you a furdom? Yes or no?
Are you an entire fandom of furries?
Question number 2. Fursona, did I use it in a way that works or not?
We'll have to check the Oxford English Dictionary.
Or the Furdom dictionary?
Oxford English Dictionary is not progressive, doesn't have furry terms.
Hey, what are
What
furry
cunts?
terms other than the ones we've listed? So,
We've listed a lot of them.
come on!
Do I know any more?
What's a sexy term?
Yif?
What?
This one I don't really know, but I think it's their term for sex.
Is that how you're supposed to pronounce GIF? And we've
No,
been
it's
wrong this whole time.
YIFF.
Isn't YIF a film festival? Youth Independent Film Festival?
That's pretty fucked up if it is.
Fuck me!
No, but YIF
hey
is
guys,
some-
you want to get YIF?
Yif
And
is
then-
some
and then-
verb that they
Holy
use.
crap. If they go, hey, you want a YIF? And the guy's like, yeah, let me just get on my fursona. I know. And then he comes up, he's like, and then he goes to the place and it's just the film festival. The film festival, and he's like, oh boy, this erection's inappropriate. Okay, hit us with your real questions,
All right.
Bartek.
Question 2. Do-de-doom. To whom does Chicken Little reveal that he has romantic feelings?
Oh,
Is it-
shit?
Is it A? Why shit?
Because he doesn't remember. That's clearly the.
It's a hard question.
Is it A? Abby Mallard?
Could be.
B. Foxy Loxy?
That's plausible.
Could be. Could be.
C. Goosey Lucy?
That's a character, I imagine.
Or D.
Fursona, go on.
Poosh Spice?
Push Spice, please.
I don't even think that was a character. I think it's just Posh Spice, but with an O.
I'll
Extra
go,
O.
I'll go,
Is
I'll
it
go
supposed to be
Sporty
Pooch
Spice.
Spice or what?
It says Poosh, like posh, but with an extra O.
Wow. They're even missing an animal pun in there, like Pooch Spice.
Yeah,
for
that's
what?
why when I saw that, I'm like, was there a character I missed, or was that just because they sang one
What
of
the fuck's a Poosh?
I don't know.
Furries, tell us.
Like a Porsche and a...
You know, there's some furry out there that's like, my Fursona's name is Poosh Spice. Now it is. It was obviously Goosey Lucy, right?
It was Abby Mallard.
Oh, fuck.
Abby's the ugly duckling character.
Was the mayor?
What?
Was the mayor?
Was it the mayor?
The mayor.
No,
it
that
the
wasn't an
mayor?
option.
But Poosh Spice was.
Yeah.
You fucking go and message the person who made this quiz and tell them a thing or two. Also, what's your favorite Joan Cusack movie?
The answer to that is question 3. Du-ding-dong. Now, the last 2 questions that I have from quizzes, these are from a different one. They're fill in the blanks ones. So, everybody dance blank. Is it later, soon, at 8:30, now, or in all caps, poop?
Later.
Everybody dance poop.
I would rather everybody dance 8:30
At 8:30.
at 8:30 p.m. or a.m.
Just 8:30.
Fuck you! I'm out of this
It-
podcast.
Ryan,
We don't have this.
hold on, Ryan.
I can't go without knowing
Hold
which
on, Ryan,
time
Ryan.
zone. I can't
Ryan,
go.
Ryan. If it's 24-hour time, that means AM.
I'll allow it. Okay, my headphones. I'm putting my headphones back on, guys. I'm relaxed.
They're
Mickey
under
Mouse.
the chair. They're somehow under
They're
the chair.
under your mum. Keep going, Bartek. I'm really excited about question 4.
The last one is also a music one.
I love music.
Don't go breaking blank heart.
Achy breaky.
Is it this? Ow. 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 O-U-R. Ow.
O-U-R or A-I-E?
O-U-R.
Okay.
Ah. Ow.
Oh, you are what?
My heart.
Is it C, my?
Okay.
Is it D, later?
Okay.
Or is it E, I do not know, with an exclamation at the end?
Is it at 8:30?
I'm gonna choose one.
Yeah?
Poop!
That's not an option.
Isn't it always? It's a bodily function.
Don't go breaking, I do not know, heart.
Hey, sorry to get back on the furry train again.
No, that's fine. Let's,
Do they have weird sex stuff about animal poo? Is that a thing? I feel like that's a thing, right? Because animal poos are so distinctively
How
different
far-
to human poos.
I mean, Ryan, think about it. How far from diaper fur do you have to go?
Is that a sex thing, or is that just a practical thing?
Diaper fur? In
Stop saying it like it's a real thing. I know it is, but you're saying it like this terminology is fine. But on the past of this podcast, where I've just used Australian slang that you're not familiar with, you're like, that's not real, but you're just like, yeah, what, diaper fur? Yeah, you know that.
I mean, Ryan, we inform each other. That's how we grow.
As does the...
And you need to learn about furry terms to grow, apparently.
Go on.
What was the question?
Diaper fur, is it sexual in nature or is it practical?
I mean, in real life, I guess it would be practical, because apparently taking it off is annoying or something. Taking off the fursuit.
Yeah, okay. I like I said in real life.
Well,
Well,
'cause-
like in real life,
Because, well, there's diaper fur fan art is the
sexual
thing, so, yeah.
things are not inherently done by poop diapers. Bartek, can I teach you about a fetish?
Fetish fandom?
Well, I wouldn't say fandom, just a fetish.
Mm?
I mean, I won't teach you. I think that you might know this. You seem pretty up to date.
Well informed.
Have you heard of feederism?
Feederism?
Yes.
I'm not sure. What is it?
It's when another person feeds someone an incredible amount and over time makes them gain an incredible amount of weight. That
I mean,
is a
that's- yeah.
sexual thrill.
Well, I've just heard it as a weight gain fetish.
Its specific term is feederism, Bartek. In the feed community.
WG.
Isn't that just America?
Australia too, buddy.
Sounds like a... yeah.
Can I go on a real rant now?
About how great this film is?
A real rant.
Yeah.
I mean this.
Okay.
Adam West is in this movie. And I'm not up to date on Adam West's career, but I don't know if he's done any other Disney movies. If he did any other Disney movies.
Sorry, when you say up to date, it's like, you know he's dead. But
Yeah,
I see
but
what
you
mean,
know
yeah.
how actors, when they die, they still have movies come out after
Yeah.
they've died? Like, only last year did the Batman movie come out in which he did the voice for it with Burt Ward and William Shatner. You know what I mean?
I get what you mean, like posterity.
I'm not up to date on his career,
If there's anything left, yeah.
if there's anything left. I mean, Anton Yelchin's career is still coming out. He died 2 years ago. But, yeah, I don't know if he did any other Disney movies, but the thing I'm going to go rant on is I love Adam West.
He's pretty great.
And one of the things I loved about him is just his style, right? The Batman style, obviously the very stern style that he has, but it's so funny. Apparently, one of the funniest stories ever in life is he was interviewed about what's his fondest memory of Frank Gorshin, the man who played the Riddler, and he said stone-faced. He went, and imagine this in his voice.
Yep.
I'm there.
Well, one time, Frank and I were invited to an elite Hollywood party up in the hills, and we went together in the same car. This was at the height of Batman. They went in, and it was an orgy. It was a Hollywood orgy, and they found it so amusing that they decided to act out as their characters of Batman and the Riddler
At the orgy.
At the orgy. And they were thrown out of the orgy because they found it so weird. So can you imagine Frank Gorshin running around going, it's me, the Riddler, and all of that. And him being like, no, Riddler, you're at it again at an orgy. That's what I loved about him. But one of the things I'm really sad about is, and you know, he's dead now and it never really got fixed. I mean, he in later in life got a career by being Adam West with Family Guy and
Which,
you know,
to tie
Kevin.
it back, it was sort of a mimetic thing.
Yeah, and all that. But one of the things I'm really disappointed about is, and it works in this too, it's same. It's funny because it's Adam West.
Yeah.
Then the sad thing is, Adam West was a supremely talented guy, and when I do see him when I watch interviews with him, or see him on Family Guy, or see him in the Batmans, it really upsets me because he was slated to be James Bond, but he refused it because he thought a non-American should be James Bond. Did you know this?
Who wanted him to be James Bond?
The writer of James Bond.
Ian Fleming?
Yeah, they met, and he was like, he saw him do his ads in which he played like a very charismatic sailor, and he saw him do the Batman, and he said, "You are the next James Bond," and he refused it because he thought a non-American should play James Bond, and then it went to George Lazenby, an Australian. But he didn't want it. So the thing is that really annoys me about Adam West, I know the movie's over, but it's just like, I see him in this, and it just makes me so angry how fickle Hollywood can be, because he was known for being Batman. And then he got forever typecast as Batman. He wouldn't get hired because they don't want Batman. They want someone real.
Yeah.
And it's so disappointing because he's one of those actors, we see him now in retrospect. He had so much to offer. He was such a funny guy. And obviously the humor comes from the fact that he was Batman. We see him on The Simpsons being like, how come Batman doesn't dance anymore?
Remember the Batusi?
Oh, ooh. Quickly, kids. Move away. Don't break eye contact, though. But, it really upsets me when I see him in a movie like this, and I go, man, we honestly missed 50 years worth of Adam West being great because Hollywood decided that they didn't want him to. And that's this movie in a nutshell. All of these actors, you got Zach Braff, you got, Joan Cusack, who's obviously the one who has a quite prominent career, but she's often overlooked in movies. I mean, people don't always go, School of Rock, you know who's great in that? Joan Cusack. Well, to be honest, I am that guy. I always watched School of Rock. I'm like, God damn, Joan Cusack's amazing in this as his love interest. But
I will be honest, like, tangential rant, I do sometimes think about the whole thing of killing careers, and it just blows my mind. Like, why would you waste that talent? Like Mike Myers we talked about.
Yep.
Apparently after Wild Hogs, Tim Allen was only like Buzz Lightyear really, and
and he has his TV show in which he plays the Tim Allen type, and it's just so disappointing. And Adam West is one of these guys. The other night I was watching the TV show Charmed, and it surprised me. It had John Cho in it, who we know as Dusty Wong from Big Fat Liar, and I said to myself, Jesus, this is him when he was young, and he's acting his heart out in Charmed, and no one knows who he is really outside of Kumar, Harold and Kumar, and Star Trek, and neither of those movies highlight what a talent he is. And it's like, that's a Hollywood blackballing someone because of race. They blackballed Adam West because of typecasting, and this movie kind of, captures that all, because it's like, this movie got blackballed because it's another talking animal animated movie by Disney, and the people just went, nah, I'm just going to write this off. I'm going to turn this rant into my review as well.
That's fine, yeah. That's fair
I
enough.
think it's upsetting. Yes, this movie doesn't have big stars that you would expect from a Disney movie, but you know what I think they did? They cast actors who are voices are appropriate, and voice actors a lot of the time. Harry Shearer makes an appearance. I mean, it's weird to see him because out of all the Simpson actors, the one who makes the most live action appearances, I would say, is easily Hank Azaria. He's the one that's most well known for not just being a voice, but it's...
Which one of them was in Night at the Museum 2?
Hank Azaria.
Yeah, alright, fair enough, yeah.
Yeah.
Proof in practice.
He was also in Along Came Polly, the Ben Stiller. He was really fit in it, but he's in a lot. But this movie is just great. It's a great film for children. It has a nice little sci-fi edge. It has a little message for the parents in there, which is you should actually believe in the children more,
Listen to them at least, yeah.
Listen to them and actually, take their side, which is a valuable lesson in life, because I've known many kids growing up whose parents would not take their side on things when the kids were right, and it often turned out for the worse. And it's a great message for both kids and adults. If I had to give this film a rating, which I do, I'm going to actually be brave enough not to relate it to the Furdum. My rating would have to be a John out of Ritter. He was a great actor and went way before his time. That's a sad thing, but a John out of Ritter. Will, let's hear from you.
All right, why not? Coming back to this film, After so long, I just appreciate it so much more. I mean, it's only 80 minutes, but it feels a lot longer. But that's okay, it's just more to love. It teaches important lessons about parenting and going into mass hysteria based on the words of children. And those are important things that we all have to learn. And I give it 5 eggs out of 5 eggs.
That's a lot of eggs.
100%.
That's a lot of eggs.
You know what they say? You can't make an omelet without buying some eggs.
That's true.
Bartek, let's hear from
You remembered my name.
Oh, okay.
You
What's your first soda?
My first Sona.
And your furry podcast. Give me those now.
Bark Tech, because I'm a dog.
That's exactly what it would be. Someone. I'm not saying that anyone listening to the show should draw some animal fan art of Bartek, but who also could be called Bear Tech, because he's very bear-like.
I think I have made that joke before, Bear Tech.
That sounds right.
Or Bark Tech. You can choose either way between some kind of European bear or a dog. Dog of your choice. I'm going to choose the droopy dogs, the ones with the really droopy features. That would be
Tex Avery kind.
Yeah, that could be you.
Oh, wait, I didn't make the... Last year when I was on placement at a high school...
A kid came up to you and said, "Sir, you look like a bear."
No,
Wow.
the Year 9 coordinator forgot my name and he called me Bear Tech for a day.
And you didn't correct it.
I eventually corrected him. I'm like, sir, my name's actually Bartek.
Oh, Bartek, let's hear from you.
That's my name. Bartek. I thought you were going to make a Bear Tech or Bark Tech joke.
Time is a factor that I will apply comedy to later. You'll get it when you least suspect it. It'll be when the episode's over, we've finished recording. I'm like, guys, we did a good job. Thanks, Bear Tech. And walk away. I'll wait to do it in front of your mum with no explanation. By a time in which you've forgotten about this, and I'll say it, and you're like,
and you're
what?
the only one amused.
I only do it for my own amusement in life.
That's fair enough. That's admirable.
I'm admirable, yeah.
Yeah.
So, much like Will mentioned earlier in this episode, let me just adjust my microphone.
I'll allow it.
Much like I already did it. Much like Will mentioned earlier in this episode, a lot of people seem to hate this film if there was a specific reason for the dad. They say that he's one of the worst Disney villains ever, a despicable character, very awful. Whereas I always thought it was more along my experience of the unexpected. I didn't know what this film was about going in. Then I went in, I got a real movie out of it, walked out being like, oh, I don't know why I was expecting that. I guess, well, I did know why, because of all the advertising materials. I think it's a film that if you mention it to someone who hasn't seen it, they just won't know what it's about. Like, hey, have you seen Chicken Little? They might know, isn't that the main character of the movie? It's named after the main character? Yeah. That doesn't really tell them what it's about. Guy. The movie's basically Guy. Okay, what does Guy do? People don't know that. They go into wondering, what does Guy do? I've seen the advertising materials. He's on the Men in Black chair. Is it going to be a Men in Black film? It's not a Men in Black film. There's aliens, though.
Yeah.
It's a film that you have to just... I feel like you have to understand it to some degree to truly appreciate it. That's not saying you can't go into it blind and walk out liking it. But I think, in this case, I'm making a distinction between like and appreciate. If you like the film, that's great. You're a step away from appreciation. If you don't like the film, you're not a step away, but I think you're at least 2. I think you need to give it another chance. And then, after that, whether you like it or you go straight to appreciation, you're there where we want you to be. This is a film that has messages. My 2 friends here just told me some of the messages.
That's
about parenthood, tolerance, furry fandoms.
You taught us that.
I mean, you asked and I answered to the best of my ability.
You taught yourself that you knew more than you knew.
I guess, when you asked for terms, I'm like, oh yeah, isn't Yif one of them? That was a weird one. That one I'm still not sure about, but...
Bartek taught me something too. He taught me that we're his friends. There you go. Very happy.
I am still learning.
It blows my mind. I guess I forgot to mention it all these 5 years or something.
Yeah, you're just like, hey guy, And I'm like, oh boy, is this a Men in Black type of guy? Or is this some kind of Chicken Little type of guy? Am I Guy Pearce?
Well,
Whoa!
as a means of repenting for that, I have one thing to say.
Repent.
Soz. To all of you that don't like this film, soz, but you should just get over it. Give it a chance and get to like it, then you can be the one saying soz. And genuinely, not like me.
Yeah.
I'm saying soz as a means of, I guess, tolerating you, even though I don't want to. I don't appreciate your opinion, but I appreciate your potential. That's what this film teaches us. Appreciate other people, even if you cannot tolerate some of the things about them.
Yeah.
If I have to give this film a rating,
Which you do.
yeah, no, that's your catchphrase, but I use it so much.
And I never meant for it to be a catchphrase.
Yeah.
It's just me stalling for time.
Fun fact, when we say that, it's us, we don't have a rating yet.
Actually, now when I say it, it's because I'm aware of that it's a catchphrase that I say, so I usually know now.
Okay, when I say it.
When Bartek says it, I always thought it was you making fun of me for saying it. I always thought all these years Bartek's just been passive-aggressively making fun of me, like, well, now I have to give a rating, and I'm always polite to join in and be like, which you do, and you're like, I do.
I still don't have a rating. But the rating that I give this film, and I still don't have one, the rating I give it is an 100% filled diaper fur.
You couldn't restrain yourself. Now, I want to hear these YouTube comments and
Alright,
reviews
yes.
from IMDb. I did hear the mention of homophobia. Can't wait.
I didn't say anything about homophobia.
You said someone talked about it being gay.
I did say that.
That is homophobia.
Well, they're not saying it's homosexual.
I thought it was.
We
I
were
thought he
ta-
was a twink icon or twunk icon.
Well, to the gay community, but not to the general public. No one's saying, like, no, Disney hasn't come out and said, hey, you know, the first openly gay character, that only came out with Beauty and the Beast, the live-action version. Remember that?
Finally, yeah.
Remember when everyone was sucking the dick of Beauty and the Beast before they saw it? Because they're like, well, I'm glad that Disney's being progressive with an openly gay character in LeFou or whatever, and then in the movie, all he
It was
does
like
is
the last
dance
scene
with
or
another
something?
guy.
Yeah.
That's how he's gay. He dances with another guy. It's like, oh, fuck me, I guess I'm gay, because I've danced with other men before, because I've been in events where you're just like, hey, let's joke around, but I guess I'm a gay man.
You say let's jerk around?
No, dance around.
Ah, if it was jerk around, that'd be a bit gay.
Okay, let's re-edit that. Let's jerk off! So let's hear from YouTube and IMDb, Bartek.
Let's do that as soon as my document program stops bugging out.
It's not responding because you've had it open.
technically-
To be
too
fair,
long.
I can read the first six comments.
You know what's great? It's not responding because it heard too many furry terms and was like,
too
I'm
many,
out.
too many fur affinity tabs open at once. It's all shutting down.
Oh, great. Hold on.
It's not gonna get weird, guys. It's not gonna get
It's
weird.
asking me to change paragraph settings.
Fuck, Bartek.
Alright, here we go. The first comment from YouTube is... Am I the only one that cracked up when Runt, in brackets the pig,
I got it.
was breathing into 2 brown paper bags at the same time? XD, and when he was playing dodgeball and trying to get a soda, and oh yeah, the corn. Winky smiley face. That's the comment.
Yeah, I've never seen that paper bag joke before. It's new.
Ryan, this...
Fresh.
I don't know if you wrote this comment,
Maybe.
but I have to specify that the username that made this comment is Turkey Mayo.
Okay. Can I just say one thing? If it's me who wrote it, is it a comment in which I'm saying, yeah, that background isn't green screen, it's totally real, and then for the next 5 years I've been getting continuous comments on that YouTube comment?
Well, based on the name Turkey Mayo, I think you know the answer's no.
Okay, it's yes.
The comment is, where do you guys think I got my name from? You CL haters can get lost.
It was me. It was me.
Turkey
Sorry,
Mayo
guys.
Ryan.
That's
was
his
me.
persona.
Gobble
Turkey
gobble.
lurkey.
And it's the gayest one because their noise is gobble gobble.
That means they eat.
Hey guys, I want a bit of a gobble gobble.
That's
That was
lewd.
my
That's
gobble
lewd.
noise.
Are they
That's
eating
lewd.
yogurt through a straw? That's disgusting.
I'm a bird. I don't eat like normal people do.
Well, in this film, beaks could move like mouths.
Yeah, beaks can move like mouths in real life, but they don't eat like mouths.
Well, no, they just open and close.
That's how mouths work.
No, but they're like, stretched like lips are fleshy,
Oh, because turkeys
So they
have
can,
the
like-
flesh on their face, though. Theirs aren't just beaks. They got some flesh there.
Yeah, but the beaks in this film were moving to like
Oh, look, I'm not
enunciate.
paying attention anymore because the movie's over and I gave it my rating. Let's hear from I am YouTube.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Let's hear from Ryan.
I am Legend, the Will Smith movie in which he plays
Have
a
you
fish.
met my friend Google? I'm Fur Affinity, apparently.
Hey, have you met my friend Bookmarks? My name's for Affinity, apparently. Yeah.
Both of you are owned by Google, and I just picked an ad.
No, we're
Arts
Disney boys.
website.
We're Diz boys.
The next comment is, my GF said I remind her of the duck. Is that a bad thing?
Please tell me there's a comment that replies to that.
There isn't, unfortunately.
Oh,
Oh
no.
boy.
I haven't got any replies.
Can I
today.
be the reply on that one?
Okay, and the response is,
Yes? Gobble gobble!
there you go.
From Turkey Man.
The next comment is, LOL, in my opinion, it's actually pretty good. It only runs for 81 minutes, and in brackets, 1 hour and 21 minutes. Way too short in my opinion. Surely you could spare an hour and 21 minutes for a movie, right? The whole reason why I got this movie in the first was because of Abby, brackets the brown duck, voiced by the great Joan Cusack.
I love Joan Cusack, yeah. Her brother's John Cusack.
The second
He's a
last
pretty good actor.
The second last comment is,
Give it to me.
what the heck have I just watched? 2018?
Yes.
Okay.
This video was uploaded in 2005, so I don't know.
They watched it and went, did this just come out? What the fuck? You know what the best part is? They saw it in the cinema this year. They went to like one of those cinemas that play retrospective Disney movies, and they went
Yeah.
in and they thought, oh, the newest Disney movie. They thought they were going to go and see, I don't know what the newest Disney movie is. Let's say it's the new Wreck-It Ralph movie. That's coming out.
That'll be new soon.
They'll walk in and think, new Wreck-It Ralph movie? What? It's Chicken Little. I've never seen this. Must be new.
What is this, 2018?
What is this? 2018?
Sorry, what the heck have I just watched? Question mark. 2018?
2018?
Question mark. And the final comment is, I want to murder whoever made this gay-ass movie.
Okay, now
Oh.
it's homophobic.
Yeah.
They mentioned arse in there. And gay.
And movie.
And kill. Very homophobic.
And I want to.
Very uncool, guys. So
Very
you have
gay.
some reviews from IMDb, is that correct?
Hi, DB, I'm Bartek. That's the end of the episode. No, I have two.
That's a wrap.
I dad joked you.
You know what one of my favorite dad jokes things is? It's like one of those ones where it's like that.
Jokes
where-
about dad jokes?
Yeah, jokes about dad jokes. So it's like one of them's like, introducing the son, to the dad, being like, this is like one of those like, hey, Jason, is like,
Dad, I'm thirsty. I'm high Thursday on Friday. Like,
yeah, one of those where it's like, hi dad, blah blah. And it's like, yeah, hi, I'm dad, and then it's like, it's dad on his deathbed, and he's like, Dad, I'm sad that you're dying. Hi, sad that I'm dying. I'm dead. And then just dies.
Will likes that one.
That's one of my favorites. That or the one where it's like a young man gets bitten on the arm and he's like, oh no, I've been bitten by a dad, I'm turning into one. And then he's like at the Home Depot and he's growing a mustache. He's like, I gotta build a deck.
Well, DB, I'm going to tell you what you are.
DB Cooper, the famous thief. Can't wait.
The first IMDb review is called I Actually Cried.
I did too, buddy.
Ryan, don't be sympathetic. From 14 January 2013, 1 out of 10.
Oh, okay. I see what you're doing now. You're leading me in with a sympathetic title and then giving me a smackdown. You know what? I don't like you.
It's a good thing I told you not to be sympathetic.
Subversion into sass. The audacity of this person.
Damn you.
This is, without a split second of hesitation, the worst movie I have ever seen. I actually cried through large parts of it due to the agony of watching it. Moral of the first 60 minutes of the story. If you are not good at sports, then you are a bad person that nobody likes, not even your own parents, and that is just what you deserve.
That's the
true,
moral of
though.
the first 10 minutes. Shut up.
And if you are being bullied for not being good at sports, then do not expect any help from adults because you deserve that as well.
Life's hard, man.
After 60 minutes, the movie turns into a cartoon version of War of the Worlds.
It's a cartoon for kids!
Cartoon version of War of the Worlds with aliens in giant octopus vessels terrorizing the town. The only thing I am grateful for is that I watched this on TV and not on cinema. That way I only wasted time and not money.
You
Time
pay
is
pay
money.
electricity bills, right, buddy? There you go.
Turns out they're like, what, the president or something?
I don't like it. Bad.
Well, it's 2013, so Obama.
Oh, okay. I don't like it. It's bad.
I don't like it.
Obama liked this movie.
I don't like it. It's bad.
Hashtag
I don't
one.
like it.
Michelle, turn it off.
Not enough
It's
stuttering.
bad.
Not enough stuttering
It's
from
bad.
either of you in your impersonations of Obama.
I don't like it.
I don't like it. That's more Obama. He was very big on stutters.
We tortured
Not
some
that
folks.
much.
Oh yeah. Go back. And a lot of Obama impersonators.
Ryan, a lot of people want to go
hinge-
back.
I know. A lot of Obama impersonators hinge on the fact that he has stutters. I mean, epic rap battles, they made that one of the big primary things in the retort battle from the fucker that looked like a Lego man, Mitt Romney, was that he's stuttering communist. So get your Obama impressions right, or get out of here with your Kevin James sympathy.
Hi,
Don't think I forgot about that.
Hi, I'm Obama.
Hi, Obama, I'm dead.
Hello, everyone.
Haha, it's my show now.
I'm Obama. That's exactly what he sounds like.
That's as good as your Orson Welles impression.
Obama, what are you doing?
Calm down, Joe Biden.
That's what I'm
It's okay.
I'm vice president. Yeah. Stop impersonating me.
The best thing about Trump's presidency is all the Joe Biden love that's come out of it, because it's like, since they finished up, Joe Biden's just a meme.
I remember as they were finishing up.
Oh yeah, but it's especially now that he's president, it's like a lot of them are like Joe Biden like plotting against Trump, being like, hey, I left these tacks, or like, I left this pen that's only for that's like really too big for his little hands, all that kind of stuff. But hit us with the next one. Hopefully it's a positive IMDb review that's actually accurate, unlike that last one,
Was
which
that
was
the whole
fake
review?
news.
Yes.
Fake
Okay.
news.
This next one
Fact.
is the last one.
Thank
God. The title is You Leave Barbara Out of This. From the 14th of April 2006.
Sorry, we're sitting here, Bartek's getting really solidly prepared. Will takes off his purple Hawaiian shirt just to reveal
An Anchorman
an
shirt.
Anchorman shirt with Ron Burgundy. A movie that I had no idea Will liked enough to own a shirt of. Go on.
It was a gift. It's hot. Both the movie and in this room. They're both hot.
I can't wait to do the second one.
And
on
Will
the show.
Ferrell. Anyway, You Leave Barbara Out of This from the 14th of April 2006. 7 out of 10.
Ooh, not a 10 out of 10, but I'll give you a gold star.
It's a lot of eggs.
And I'll give you 8 stars.
This was totally a funny movie from an animal movie.
Yeah.
Did I read that right? This was a totally funny movie from an animal movie. All the animal characters were funny, and so was so of the rest of the animals.
Yes. Was this written by Tyler Lee Jewell?
I picked this one. I didn't remember the first sentence being like that. Okay. Oh, I remember this one now. Even their names were either funny or plain stupid. Their names were Buck Cluck, Mayor Turkey Lurkey, Woolenworth, Foxy Loxy, Rurt of the Litter, Goosey Lucy, Morcubine Porcupine, and the rest.
There was Poosh Spice in the rest.
He didn't even name the main character. They didn't even make.
Well, that one didn't have a funny or plain stupid name.
Chicken Little's very funny. It's a twink icon.
Kurchak Mawe.
You're making it
Or-
way more African.
I
as
know.
you're doing
Well,
it.
now that you
Kurchak
brought it to my
Mawe.
attention.
You brought it to your own attention. You started.
Well, you were commenting what it sounded like, and it made me think like, oh, yeah, it kind of does sound.
you're right. It's my fault.
All the song the animals sang was funny, and when Rurt acts like a little girl or funny things he does. Like when, this is a new sentence, like when he tried to jump the fence, he breaks it, or when he rolled down the hill and burped, and then later they heard a weird crunching sound, but it was Rurt eating corn. The director was really lucky to have such funny actors do the voices of these animals. Now I want to give a shout out to Mr. Don Knotts.
Yes, Don Knotts needs to be shouted out. He's very good.
We want to remember this talented actor after his death on February.
It was his last movie, yeah.
We will remember you, Mr. Knotts. God bless you to be alive.
Yeah.
I know the people that worked on Chicken Little is sad, just like me when we found out he is dead. This movie will live on.
Yeah, no, I agree. Don Knotts was a great comedic talent. He often played like the landlord character or the flamboyant next door neighbor. For instance, you know in that 70s show? In that 70s show when they get to the point where Fez is living in an apartment with, I think it's Kelso or something, and they have the very weird gay landlord who's also the guy who works at the jewelry store. Fenton.
Yeah.
Fenton's very much a Don Knotts character. It's like a homage to that kind of Don Knotts. Well, Don Knotts wasn't as openly gay because it was the 60s and 70s, but he was very much that type of character. So it was kind of neat to see him in this movie. Big downside, I don't know if it's because he died or not, but they don't use his voice very often. He only has like very fleeting lines of dialogue, and it's kind of like you got Don Knotts, who's got a very recognizable voice, like him and Paul Lynde, who played Uncle Arthur. They would often compete for roles against each other because they were very similar, except for Paul Lynde was a little bit more chaotic energy, while Don Knotts was a little bit more nervy.
We got Steve Carell, so it's right.
We got Steve Carell. So you guys have been fantastic, amazing, wonderful listening. Bartek, you've been...
I'm listening, but
Bartek, you've been especially good at listening and talking.
Yeah.
You had to clear your throat once, but that was okay.
I did it multiple times, actually.
You guys have been fantastic, amazing, wonderful listening people, as always. Will, it was great to have you swing by and grace us with your presence and tell us many told tales about drive-in theaters and wearing shirts under shirts.
That's true.
He wears, and under that shirt, he just has another shirt. So,
It's a lot of layers.
I've learnt a lot about the furrydom. The furdom, sorry.
They thank you for that, yeah.
They purr at me for that, yeah.
If they're felines, yeah.
They all purr, Bartek, on the inside.
Even the wolves.
Oh, wolves do a little purr noise.
They kind of like growl or
that kind of thing.
That's very cat.
Oh, you don't think wolves do that? Furries, get them! So, you guys have been great. If you want to support us, we're on all the social medias, the Twitter, the Facebook, we're not on Instagram.
Yeah, you said all the, and I'm like,
Wait a moment, I just want to exclude that, because I don't include that as a social media.
MySpace?
We will.
I think we mentioned on Cruel Intentions that we might have... No, it was the one after that. Man of the House, we mentioned we have MySpaces, technically.
I technically have a MySpace. So, we're on YouTube and Podbean and Apple Podcasts is now the name instead of... I mean, it's still iTunes, but that's what it's officially called now. We're on Google Play. Give us ratings on any of those, reviews, spread us around to all your friends. And if you're a furry listening, sorry for all the harsh words I said. I meant him, but I'm sorry that if you got offended. Bartek, you know what we have to say to these nice listening people at home? Now, don't you?
3, 2, 1. Be kind. Remember to
Stay safe.